I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
Fallout 3 is a hybrid RPG first-person shooter set in a post-apocalyptic future. After the nuclear holocaust, humanity was inextricably crippled, but held steadfast to their existence. Fallout 3 was developed by Bethesda Studios, the same people who brought us the masterpiece that is The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Because of this, high expectations have been put on Fallout 3 since the very beginning, but can it live up to all the hype, or will it experience a fallout of its own? Though Fallout 3 takes place in an entirely new universe from its predecessor, one could argue that it also takes place some 27 years after Fallout 2. Either way, the game actually starts when you are born in Vault 101, a shelter that helped you and many others to survive the nuclear fallout. The problem is, for the past 200 years, no one has left the Vault. Generations have lived and died there, and you are no exception. So while the outside world has gone on since the nuclear fallout, the people in Vault 101 continue to stay there, unchanging. Shortly after you complete high school, your father suddenly up and leaves the Vault, causing quite a commotion to say the very least. You pursue him, and the story of Fallout 3 truly begins. Like Oblivion, Fallout uses the Gamebryo engine, and the similarities between the two games are uncanny. Fallout 3's design feels much like Oblivion in many ways, and like Oblivion, the world is massive. However, I personally don't feel that the game has the same refinement that Oblivion offers. For example, like Oblivion, you have this guiding arrow that helps you to find locations, but the problem is that there are many more multi-tiered areas in Fallout 3. Sometimes the game doesn't tell you where to go at all, and you'll end up wandering aimlessly, hoping to discover the next objective. Another difference between Fallout and Oblivion is travel. In Oblivion, you could travel on foot, like in Fallout, and once you found a location, you could easily warp to it. The same is true in Fallout. But in Oblivion, you could also travel on horseback to vary things up. There is no way to travel in Fallout but on your own 2 feet. And while walking in the barren landscape of DC is entertaining at first, as the game progresses it becomes nothing more than a troublesome chore. Fallout 3 also has its fair share of glitches and pop-ups, particularly on the PlayStation 3 version. It just feels unpolished and in many ways unfinished. The graphics themselves aren't bad, but have a number of issues that are raised as a result of using the Gamebryo engine. Character models are stiff and movements feel artificial and robotic. While the textures and models themselves look fantastic, the game actually looks better standing still than while in motion.
Aren't you a stud?
While the engine worked fine for Oblivion, which is an RPG if I've ever seen one, Fallout 3 presents itself as more of an action game, both commercially and in presentation. However, in-game it's a half-and-half hybrid. This isn't necessarily a bad thing conceptually, but frankly, the engine simply can't support fast-paced FPS action. If you come into Fallout 3 trying to play it like a standard FPS, you'll die, and you'll die a lot. So if you can't simply play it like a standard FPS, how can you play it? Well, you can play Fallout 3 a couple of ways. First, there's the VATS system. Basically, when you enter into VATS, the game pauses and allows you to target certain body parts of your enemies. The idea is good, as it allows you precious kills, even with the quirky RPG movements. But unfortunately, it's not without issues. You can be point blank with your foe, target the head, and sometimes your bullets will still miss. This is a result of the RPG mechanics of dice rolls playing a part in the success of your bullets while in VATS. It's balanced, but it can get irksome, no doubt about it. Regardless of any nitpicking, VATS is a neat concept, and seeing heads roll and limbs fly just never gets old.
Easy there. Over here. Where? Ah.
You can also play Fallout 3 like a first-person shooter, but as mentioned earlier, it's hardly practical. The voice acting in Fallout 3 is top-notch. There's a large variety of talent on hand, and the vast majority of the lines are spot on.
Come on, tell me already. Oh no. What happened? You know what you are? You're a big asshole. That's right, an asshole. My papa said never to say that word, but you deserve it.
In a game containing as many characters and bolstering the amount of dialogue as Fallout 3, this is no small praise. The characters go a long way to really put you in the shoes of your character as he travels the wasteland of a post-apocalyptic America. The music in Fallout 3, well, it's what it is. It doesn't particularly stand out, but it does help to establish the game's desolate atmosphere. As the story progresses, you'll find it to be average. It's not a bad tale, but it's not great either. That in itself is rather disappointing. Like Oblivion, the constant viewpoint through your character's eyes is simultaneously a blessing and a curse, as it adds to the immersion as you play, but also hinders potentially dramatic events, as they feel no different from other, lesser in-game events. Fallout 3 has some great ideas, and combines two very unique gameplay styles, but it fails to be the best at either regard. That being said, that doesn't mean it's not worth playing. Just know that there are other games such as BioShock and Mass Effect that execute the action RPG sci-fi formula better than Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is a very good game in its own right, but I dare say that this is one of those cases where the game just doesn't live up to the hype that the media created for it.
Hey there.
I don't want to set the world on